right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and gamers and sports fans, and everybody else on planet Earth, how y'all doing? It's RetroBigCat, or you can call me Big Cat, and it's Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. It's 2:30 in the Eastern Time Zone. Thank goodness the election day is here, so we can finally put an end to all the shenanigans, the hoopla, and the insanity, the asinine crap that we're seeing is the worst I've ever seen. Hopefully we don't see anything like this ever again for the rest of my natural life or anybody else's lives. Now, let's get that out the way. Now, the Ghost of Yotei problems? What do you mean, Big Cat? Well, I've heard people say that it's more like Xbots or fanboys complain about the graphics. If it ain't that, it's the whole woke culture. It's a female protagonist in a video game, which I don't understand that logic at all. People need to game more and less complain about everything under the sun. So look, I'm sure the game will address the graphics and it will get that situated. We'll get that situation sorted out by the time it comes out. Not to mention it was delayed to next year. Now, as far as the Assassin's Creed Shadows, which that's another game that feudal Japan era, it's battling against, and it's coming out next year as well. And people still crying about a African samurai being in the game, despite the fact that Assassin's Creed isn't about realism at all. If you jump from building to building, mountaintop to mountaintop, jump from the top of the mountain, top of the building to the haystack with uninjured, unscathed, you can put up with the shenanigans and the hoopla and all the crazy stuff in Assassin's Creed franchise too. So be quiet, more gaming, less complaining, and everybody will be happy. Just chill out, ladies and gentlemen. It's not that damn serious to the point it will ruin your life. Okay, now and and one more thing, Ghost of Yotei will take place 300 years later after the first game, which is Ghost of Tsushima. So, and I do remember people complain about the protagonist of the first game, Jin Sakai. Oh, he was boring. He was bland as vanilla. Shoot, Vanilla Bean had more flavor than him. So yeah, you complain about the guy being a protagonist. Now you got a lady as a protagonist, and y'all still finding stuff to complain and scream blading murder and kicking up dust about. Excellent. Now, story number 2, you have a Tekken pro player being disqualified from the tournament based off his race or / nationality. I have a hard time believing that. If that's the case, Namai Backco, y'all look really bad in this situation. Y'all do. I'm saying if it's true, because I did watch a video from YouTube and I'm just like, seriously? Dang. So I'm gonna find that video in the article link. I'll put it in the description. Now, the shortest date I saw, that was a story that went viral, and I read the article from USA Today website, and I still have it in the history, and see if I can find it, and I'll put the link in the description later on. And long story short, it didn't even last a whole minute. It lasted about 45 seconds or something like that, and the guy gave her a hug and just said, hey, I'm out, I'm bounced, and just gave her the cold shoulder and everything. A lot of people were on her side, some people not so much. Let me touch on them first. They went as far as say, hey, that's what you get off the dating apps, meet real people, pick better men. Men get rejected all the time by women for any, if not all the reasons, and it could be anything or no reason at all, they still get rejected. So she'll learn from this, and she did say she deleted her dating apps. I feel that nobody should be using the dating apps because it's a scam, you know? Plus, it's false hope. And plus, modern women really need to stop living in the fantasy world. It's disgusting. Now, as far as her getting the short end of the stick, well, let alone getting stiff-armed in the shortest date, hey, at least she went on a date. Even though it didn't last a minute, at least she did go on a date. For me, this was when I lived in Vegas in the mid to late 2000s. Let me tell you something. I was supposed to go on a date on New Year's Eve. I think it was 2005 or 2006. It's one of those 2 years. Long story short, I got stood up. I mean, it was so bad to the point where her friends was giving me the runaround. She gave me the runaround. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm done with y'all. Leave me alone. And the woman tried to talk to me. And I'm like, no, you're not being truthful. You're not being honest with me. You're giving the runaround. You want to play games. I don't got time for it. pace. And she still tried to talk to me, and I had to talk to her because I don't think she was gonna stop. And we did talk a little bit, and then she gave me a new reason. I'm like, oh no. And like her father was racist and all this other stuff, and I was drunk. And I'm like, you had to work. You said so yourself. Why not just call me and tell me that you're not coming? We could reschedule it another time. She's like, oh well, I wasn't thinking. Da 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 da. It's whatever. I just walked away from her. I just did not want to hear anything else. She lied to me one time, and that was enough. If she lied to me once, she'll lie to me again. So there you go. And she will learn from all this. Plus, like that little story I told y'all, men do get rejected by women. It's just that us men ain't gonna put it on the internet on Front Row Street and blabber to the world looking for sympathy like she's doing. So, or like she did, excuse me. Now, story number 4, it's McDonald's E. coli outbreak. It wasn't the burger patties at all. It was their onions. It comes down to this. The factories, it's coming out overseas. They're not cleaning it. You got animal manure and everything else on it. There you go. And McDonald's do have some awesome French fries though. Yes, they do. So the biggest lesson of all, order a burger or sub sandwich. Doesn't matter if it's Subway, Jersey Mike, or Jimmy John's. Don't just order a burger or sub sandwich without onions and you'll be fine, or you can just make one yourself. So before I go, let me say this. It's an honorable mention. I'm still looking in the microphones between the Samson Q9U and Maono PD400X. And I did check out the Rode PodMic USB, going back and forth with it, but there are things I did not like, and I stayed away from it. First off, I didn't like the fact that it had a notoriously gain issues, kind of like a not Samson, Shure SM7B type of situation. And plus, you can't use any type of accessory. You have to rely on their accessory companies. Rode, which is the XLR cable, is what, $35 or $60 depending the length, the meters, and the USB-C to USB-C cable. I don't have it on my Acer computer nor my laptop, so that didn't help at all. You have to buy USB-C Type C, Type A cable. It costs $15 or $20. Then the microphone itself, it wouldn't suit my voice at all. It sounds too bright and too crispy for my liking. So there you go. Just like I'm using the Focusrite Vocaster 1 enhancement, which is I think is bright set right now. So it's the first time I've using it ever, and I'm also using the XLR mode of F-Deuce SL40 for the first time ever. Had this microphone for 2 years. So if I had to choose between Samson Q9U and the Maono PD400X, I'm going back and forth. I'm still going back and forth. Let's say I go with the Samson Q9U. I won't have to deal with the personal information, downloading the software app and all this other stuff. At least with the Vocaster 1 auto interface, they give you a choice. At least they give you a choice. Other microphones companies like Shure or Maono, whatever name you want to pronounce, they don't give you a choice. They don't. So there you go. Without further ado, hitting y'all salute. I'm out. Sorry for making the video 10 minutes and 12 seconds long, and I'll see if I can talk about a little bit about sports. Check y'all later. Happy Tuesday.